Good morning, Ring Country, and happy Friday to everyone listening and also watching on our KRIM radio live stream. It is Friday, so you know what that means. It is time for the Hometown Movie Guys. Well, if you're watching on our live stream, you'll see we have the Hometown Movie Guy.
Yeah.
Actually, new guy, Nathan.
Nathan,
with, Sawmill Movie Theatres, and Craig Tripton, the manager of Sawmill Theatres. He'll be joining us in a little bit. And Andy, well, if you've seen Andy anywhere around town, let him know, hey, what is he doing? He needs to be here for the Hometown Movie Guys. And always interesting. You never know what you'll see.
Yeah,
the drone out there.
watching us.
I know, drone.
Had to get that special shot.
Checking us out, or maybe across the street, Rim Country Barbecue. Might be doing something there, or who knows.
Yeah,
but little drone in the sky here at the Sawmill Theatres complex. And hey, so we're going to be talking movies today. And are there any new movies that have come in?
Yeah, so this week we are getting in Bad Boys, the new Bad Boys movie with Will Smith and Martin Lawrence.
Wow.
And then as well, we're getting in The Watchers, which is M. Night Shyamalan's daughter, directorial and writing debut. She's got a horror movie of her own. Hopefully we get a twist again with Shyamalan directing. So.
Okay, so let's first, I think, talk about Bad Boys, Ride or Die. And this, has Will Smith and Martin Lawrence from, both in the original Bad Boys.
Yeah, of course, and this is their fourth movie now because they came
fourth.
They came out with Bad Boys for Life. I think that was a couple years ago.
Okay.
I think it was, I think it was before the Oscars, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But no, they got this one coming out. And if you guys have seen the trailer, man, this one looks really action-packed. Looks crazy from beginning to end.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen some of the behind-the-scenes filming and some of I saw like Will Smith doing some like camera work with a gun where he'd like swivel the camera out when he'd hold the gun forward, and then it'd swivel back around and face him. And yeah, it looks like it should be a really fun, action-packed movie. And it's Will Smith has always got his charisma, so there's always going to be a few laughs in there. And Martin Lawrence is funny as well. So.
Oh yeah, the two of them together, I think, do
they know how to
great
play
job.
off each other.
Yes.
Knowing how to play the straight man for Will Smith.
Yeah. And so on Rotten Tomatoes, this is something that we like to do. I like to throw it out there.
Curious.
And usually when, there's two or three, the full Movie Guys crew, it's fun, like a contest, see who can get closest.
Oh, yeah.
But it's just you right
35%.
Do you think that's critics or audience?
That would be my critic score. I'd say audience has got it up to like 68 right now.
Wow, you know what? The tomato meter, which is the critics, those are the critics, 65.
Really?
So that's pretty good.
That's pretty good for the critics.
And then audience, 97.
97? Oh, so this one's looking like a really good one.
Yeah.
And it's pretty evident from the trailers that they put a lot of work into this one. There's a bunch of big different action-packed set scenes, it seems, and it and the storyline is they essentially they're Miami, Florida police officers, but their chief gets framed for doing illegal things under the counter and stuff like that. So essentially they're on the run. They're on the run from everybody because the gangs and the cartels who are embedded in the police system as well, they're also after them, as well as the system because they're wanted fugitives. So that should be fun. And
some of the reviews from audience members seeing the film, very entertaining. The film has an enjoyable rhythm, action, drama, and lots of laughs. This person, the best one by far, so far. Very entertaining. Good to see Will Smith, Martin Lawrence back for another ride. Enjoyable. Movie had action and had me laughing through a lot of it. Bad Boys chemistry has not died.
Wow,
so
that's good.
Yeah, so some really solid reviews so far for Bad Boys Ride or Die.
Yeah.
And that coming out today.
I think we have it showing at 1 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and 7 o'clock for anybody who's interested.
You got it. And that is rated R. So yeah, rated R. And I wonder, have all of those movies been rated R?
The new ones that we're getting, I think both of them, I think The Watchers is a rated R movie as well.
Or I mean, the Bad Boys in the series, you know, if those have been. Trying to think.
I want to be sure.
Yeah,
about that.
I'm not sure either. But this one is rated R.
Rated R movie.
Rated R, yeah. And so the other new one that you said is coming out, The Watchers.
The Watchers, yes.
The Watchers.
So this is produced by M. Night Shyamalan, and it is his daughter who has I think it's based off of a book, and she has wrote it for screenplay, and then she's directing it as well.
Gotcha.
And it looks pretty interesting, pretty fresh, like a new story. It starts with this like artist lady, and she ends up getting lost in the forest, and there's something out there, and it's like scaring her, and then somebody opens a door and tells her that she has like a few seconds to get in, and then suddenly she's trapped in this place where people are watching her, where there's creatures outside and they don't know.
That's what the description says on Rotten Tomatoes. The Watchers follows Mina, I think. Mina, a 28-year-old artist who gets stranded in an expansive, untouched forest in Western Ireland. And when Mina finds shelter, she unknowingly becomes trapped alongside 3 strangers that are watched and stalked by mysterious creatures each night. So The Watchers. The Watchers.
Mixed, we'll call it mixed reviews on that one.
Mixed reviews, yeah. No audience reviews yet. Critics, not terribly kind so far for that one. But we were just talking about Bad Boys Ride or Die, and that one getting great reviews from the audience.
Pretty good reviews. You know, these were, this is the 3rd one. These were terribly popular. I mean, these were
Bad Boys?
Oh yeah.
Actually, the 4th one it says.
Oh, it's the 4th one.
Yeah.
4th one.
Do you remember the 3rd one, Bad Boys for Life, came out a couple years ago, but it wasn't as popular.
That was before the slap.
I think that's exactly what I said. I think it was before the slap, and I think that they didn't put as much marketing into it. And to me, it does seem like they put more into this movie, maybe for some of that image rehabilitation.
Well, a couple years ago, we were in the COVID years too, and then marketing of the studios were trying to save money too, so they were cutting back on the marketing, and that time really got pumped up like it should have been.
Gotcha. The Watchers is rated PG-13. Showtimes for that 1:15, 4:15, and 7:15. And again, just to remind everyone listening and watching, the Sawmill Theatres is open now, 7 days a week.
7 days a week.
So open every day of the week. So here in summer, it's great, to get out of the heat, to go into the air conditioning, grab some popcorn, and check out a movie.
Yeah, and we actually have a Discount Tuesdays now too. We opened back up on Tuesdays, and Tuesdays now are Discount Tuesdays.
There you go.
$5 for matinees.
There you go.
So normally $8, we're going for $5, and then the evening shows are $11, and we're going for $8 on those.
All right.
So you can save a few bucks on Tuesday.
There you go. So let's see, other movies. The Garfield movie. Rated PG, and that's been out for a week now, hasn't it?
A couple more than that.
Yeah. How's the Garfield movie
Still
been
good.
doing?
Yeah, it's been good.
Yeah, I heard that it's very good for the audience that it's trying to market for.
Gotcha.
And every kid looks like they're having a grand time when they go in there, and it's short enough to where they're not running out of the theater halfway through because it's a kids
Actually,
movie.
a couple kids movies right now, and then another one next week.
Gotcha. And this one, the Garfield movie, audience score 80%. So audience really liking this movie, and probably kids really enjoying it.
And one of the things they'll do, you said there's no reviews on Watchers yet for the audience score.
Yeah.
What the studios will do, if they of course they will watch these movies, and if they watch a film and they think it's not quite up to snuff, they might not review it until what they do is like a Thursday night. They'll do the trailers on there, because then the newspaper people, the critics, don't have time to get into the paper for a Friday.
Okay.
So you kind of get that one weekend without those bad reviews coming out.
Okay.
So usually it's not a good sign if there's not.
To help with the opening a little bit.
Yeah, usually it's not a good sign if there's not customer reviews out.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Huh. I have to see The Watchers though. It looks like it could be a
It's
good movie.
Shyamalan.
Yeah.
It's his daughter.
Yes.
Doing
Yeah.
this one, so,
Yeah. No, and looking at the Garfield movie, just all of the again the cast, like Andy, I know, was always impressed with the cast and all the voices.
Amazing, yeah.
Chris Pratt, Vin Rames, Snoop Dogg, and, what is it? Hannah Waddingham, Samuel L. Jackson. So yeah, a lot of
Big cast.
big names in there, yeah, and that's something that I know Andy always talks about. What is fun, what he enjoys is trying to guess during the
Not guess
movie,
names,
yeah, who the voices are, which actors are doing the different voices for the characters.
I think the titular character is pretty easy to guess. If you had
The
no
which
clue.
one?
I think Garfield is pretty.
Yeah,
Yeah, if you've heard Chris Pratt talk, it's
yeah,
Chris Pratt.
and I'd imagine Samuel L. Jackson as well.
Yeah.
He would be.
Distinctive voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, very distinctive voice. So again, Garfield rated PG and showtimes 12:15, 3:15, and 3D.
Yes.
So you can see Garfield movie, the Garfield movie in 3D, and also 6:15. And then the other kids movie that you mentioned that's still in the theaters, If.
Yes.
If, and how's If?
The main storyline from all of my coworkers at the Sawmill Theatre
Mhm.
is everyone is so shocked that grown men just keep on coming out and haven't cried and wiping tears away. So yeah,
Wow.
it's a kids movie as well, but not in the same vein as Garfield. This is a very emotional like
Yeah.
it's a well-written movie. It's by John Krasinski, who directed
Yeah.
those what are they called?
Quiet Place.
Quiet Place movies.
Gotcha.
Which are fantastic.
Yeah,
Which we've got another one coming up at the end of the month.
Inside and Out?
Quiet Place. Oh, Quiet Place.
Oh, Quiet Place.
Quiet Place,
Gotcha.
yeah.
The new Quiet Place.
And when is Inside Out? Is that July?
That's next week.
That's
Week from
yeah.
today. Week from today.
And that this reminds me, I haven't seen this or read much about If, but Inside Out was like that, where the first movie is
Mhm.
like
People
kind of
didn't
like,
realize
whoa, we didn't realize how kind
that
of
it
deep.
hit you.
Yeah, because it's pretty deep and powerful,
Mhm.
and that's where kids movies, just because it's a kids movie,
Yeah.
doesn't mean that it can't be powerful and touching.
And If is kind of doing a weird trajectory where it started out, underperformed.
Gotcha.
But it's actually kind of holding steady. It's keeping its numbers right now. It
I
hasn't been
think
bad.
once the audience started to learn and hear about it, I think they got more interested.
Gotcha. So If, what would you say the audience score on If has been?
I'd say I wouldn't be shocked by like a 92, a 93,
92?
87.
87? 88?
88. Oh, there
88?
you go, nice.
How about critics?
Oh.
They might be even higher. I don't know. I'm gonna say 80, 86 for critics.
I'll go 77.
50.
50.
50.
Yeah.
Wow, why are the
So,
critics not like it?
Yeah,
That's a
I
good
know.
question.
I know. Yeah, that's.
They're so
and
critical.
I know.
But they love Bad Boys.
Yeah, well, the Bad Boys was
was
in the
63 or something like that,
Yeah, in
yeah.
the 60s. So I don't know. It's funny. The critics, you just never know with them what they're looking for.
Yeah.
And
They go more into, they look at some of the technical aspects, character development, things like that.
Like
So,
actual storytelling and building and stuff like
yeah,
that.
it's, yes. Yeah.
Building the world building and making sure that you're not
Rather
losing
than,
your audience.
not always so much looking at the entertainment value.
Mhm.
yeah, yeah, and I think that is the case where the audience, boy, they've seemed to really enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's done really good for us.
yeah, no, that's good. So If playing at what 1, 4, and 7. There you
Yeah,
go.
there'll be a steady stream of kids movies here. We've
Mhm.
got Inside Out next week,
Mhm.
and then a couple weeks after that is Despicable Me.
Oh,
Despicable Me film. Yeah, the
wow.
Minions are back.
So yeah, and then do you have just it says playing on June 9th and June 11th, The Secret World of Arai?
Yeah, you know what? So we're trying to. It's Studio Ghibli.
Okay.
These are it's kind of the Japanese anime,
Yeah.
kind of their version of animated films. It's with a very distinct style, I guess.
Mhm.
We're giving these a shot.
Gotcha.
They're quite popular.
Okay.
Now I don't know how Payson's going to respond to it.
Yeah.
If we're going to have a good turnout on that, but we're going to
highly decorated, award-winning films.
Yeah.
And this one in particular, this Arrietty, it looks really interesting. It's a very interesting story where Arrietty and her family are essentially little people living under the floors of this other house.
Oh.
And they end up getting discovered by the young son who works there, and end up developing a relationship from that. You know, drama, action, little people.
It's kind of like The Littles. Remember The Littles?
Mm.
The Littles, we are the Littles. No? You don't remember The Littles?
No.
Oh my gosh, I have to look. I have to show you though. Yeah, there was a series. I don't know if it was a movie or a TV series. The Littles.
When did that come out?
Probably in the '80s, early '80s or so.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, little.
You were little. You were little.
I'm
Yeah.
probably a little too old for those. I get that, these guys always talk, Thundercats and even Ninja Turtles, I kind of was a little bit old for those, yeah.
And the Littles movie, so yep, the Littles movie, 1985.
Yeah.
Family adventure. I wasn't, watching this as a teenager, not watching it, but I remember, they were they had little tails. They had, people with little tails, the Littles.
Yeah, it does not look at all
And,
familiar.
these little people and the
That
boy
was-
discovers them.
85 I was at ASU though too, so.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, so you weren't
other
into...
things on my mind.
Yeah, that's... No, that's true. You were not into the Littles. And I don't know, when the TV, when that was, but It's funny how that works, where, depending on where you are in life and you're not paying attention to certain things and you miss it. Yep, like it never even happened. So the other movie, When Marnie Was There, so that one playing June 10th and June 12th.
June 12th,
Another Studio Ghibli movie.
Yeah.
These are PG films too.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
and these films are known for how beautiful and breathtaking their imagery is.
Wow.
It's quite good. In this Marnie story, she essentially moves to a new beach house, and across these marshes, she sees this big mansion and a light on, and somebody's living there, and she ends up becoming friends with the girl who's living there. But there's something mysterious going on. I'm not sure. I haven't seen it, but there's got to be some sort of twist there, because this mysterious mansion is very weird. So should be fun. And these movies are just fun to watch because they're just beautifully drawn and the whole time. Really fun.
Makes me think of a Nancy Drew.
Yeah, something like
A
that.
little mystery going on there. So, and then as you mentioned, Inside Out 2, June 14th, and then Minions, Despicable Me 4, July 3rd.
July 3rd, yeah.
July 3rd.
That'll be a big one. We got A Quiet Place,
Coming
and then
in too.
Horizon also, the Kevin Costner Western.
Gotcha.
That
Wow.
one's coming up here at the end of the month.
And you can see all of the movies that are now playing, all of the times, but also coming soon, movies that are coming soon, on the Sawmill Theatres website, sawmilltheatres.com. So let's see, other movies still in the theater. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Great movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Andy said that it was his favorite out of all of them. What do you say, Nathan? What say you?
I really love all of them. The three movies, the Rise, Dawn, War, those ones are amazing. And I think that there is something about those ones where they're not able to speak full English sentences that is really compelling with the way that they have to communicate. It seems like they have to use more expressive emotions in that one.
Facial expressions or eyes.
Yes, I really like this one, but I feel like it's building still, because it seems like they're trying to take off on the new Planet of the Apes trilogy. And this one was really good. It was a fun watch. But I wouldn't say it's the best. I think the trilogy led by Andy Serkis is really good.
Well, you know what? This is, it was crazy. I looked at all of the movies, and on Rotten Tomatoes, it was crazy. The scores, the ratings kept increasing. So with the first one, they were good. It was like 80 and 90.
Yes.
But then the second one was even higher. And the third one, War, was the highest.
Yes.
So to see that in movies, that's not common.
Well,
the sequels usually don't get higher reviews.
Well, this trilogy wasn't even expected. So I don't know if you guys know much about the way this one got made. So the first one got made, Rise of the Planet of the Apes. That director came up with that individual story as like a potential, how did this come? How did the Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes start? And then the next one was made 5 years later with a different director, and they had a completely different story mapped out that was almost kind of like right after what had happened in Rise of the Planet of the Apes. But then they ended up writing that time jump and took more of the characters from the first one and wrote a very independent movie with Dawn of the Planet of the Apes from the first one, very much using it. But because of that, I feel like it's extremely strong because they're made as their own movies. They ended up becoming a trilogy, but they're like you can watch any of them independently from each other, and you're immediately caught up in the beginning, and they're all very compelling. So.
Yeah, I think my favorite was what, Dawn?
Dawn,
The
that's
second
my
one,
favorite
right?
too.
It's the second one?
Yeah.
With the bridge, and that's what Andy
And
was
Kobo
saying.
and
Kobo,
yeah, good villain that Kobo was. Yeah.
And the person that was in charge of the city, you know, and just oh boy, how they went at each other.
Yeah, and that and the whole like you can see both sides of it because both of them are just wanting to survive.
Protecting,
And,
Yep, and then War was a great one, and that
War was
actually
great,
got, you know, the highest reviews. This one, so far, what would you guess, critics?
Critics, I don't know. I'd say, do I think they like it more than Bad Boys? So I'm gonna say 65, hoping that they like it a little more than Bad Boys.
83.
80.
80, wow.
Yeah, and what do you think audience is?
Audience is gonna be lower, isn't it? It's gonna be 78 is my guess.
91.
78?
Wow.
So
you finally got one right.
I'm surprised the audience is lower, though.
Yeah.
I going into it, I think I really liked that trilogy. And so going into it, I think I was a little bit too excited for it.
Gotcha.
And so I don't think it's a bad movie or anything like that. I think I was a little let down because I was over-invested.
Gotcha.
But it's very interesting. It's extremely good, and I think that it's really starting to like build out this new world and like really taking place of like what impact did Caesar leave from the first 3 movies.
I do hate that too when you go into a movie expecting you're really excited about it and then you get
I mean I was
you get let
expecting
down.
And it's not even that much of a letdown because there's still a fantastic
because you're
movie.
overinvested.
Yeah, it's because I was expecting Dawn and War and something like
A couple of
that.
Star Wars movies go that way.
Yeah. So yeah, this one, it's interesting. Like Andy, he said he enjoyed it more than any of the other ones for different reasons. I think he said the cinematography, the expressiveness of the apes in this one, just some things that really stood out to him that just drew him in and you know, made him really a fan of this one. But overall, it does seem, or it is number-wise, kind of the lower one of the 3, which and it's still solid ratings. There's still solid reviews.
It's kind of starting its own thing. Like in the other ones, the apes weren't talking. The main ape was talking. But and like this one's a little bit different. It's a whole new world, but also it is extremely worth it to watch it in theaters. Andy is not kidding when he's talking about the cinematography is beautiful, and it's nothing does it justice if it's not on that big screen.
Gotcha.
And you don't get the money that's put into these things too. You know, if a film is successful, then you know if they do a sequel like that, they're going to put money into it again.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah.
You know, so a lot of times your sequels don't really get that same TLC that the you know that other ones do, and then they come in underappreciated.
Yeah, and that's where I was just looking up War of the Planet of the Apes. The critics rated that at 94.
Yeah.
Dawn 91, and the audience 88, and I think like 88 on both of those. And then what's the first one? Rise. Rise of the Planet of the Apes. The critics 82 and audience 77.
Yeah.
So this one is still, it's right there with the first one.
Yeah.
It's right there
and that
with
one's
the first one as far
a
as
very different story.
Yeah.
Like, and that one might end up being how this one is too.
Yeah.
Because you know they might just set up.
Rise of the Planet of the Apes was Fox still.
It was Fox
before Disney bought Fox. So this one for sure is definitely a Disney film.
Yeah.
But that first one I think was a Fox film too. So.
And an interesting story, James Franco, that one, and his father with dementia.
Dementia,
and
yes.
What's his name? The main character, Caesar.
Caesar,
Caesar
yes.
protecting, the father, kind of going after the neighbor a little bit,
Yeah.
attacking him. And,
It's a very different movie, and I feel like that it almost does it more justice because it has to be something different to set up a whole new world. But
There you go. So Rise of the Planet of the Apes still in theaters. Rated PG-13, 12:30, 3:45, and 7 are the showtimes on that. And the final movie in there, in Sawmill Theatres, Furiosa, a Mad Max saga. That's rated R, showtimes 12:30, 3:45, and 7. And how's this one?
fantastic.
Yeah, Van Meeken's like, yeah, fantastic. It's
I'm
awesome.
looking, the numbers have been underwhelming, I guess. They're expecting a lot more out of this film.
Mad Max numbers are always underwhelming.
Well, Fury Road was, generally considered the greatest action film of all time.
But if you
this one's
remember,
there too.
but if you remember when it got released, money-wise, it wasn't doing well. It kind of bombed a little bit
Yeah.
Said this
to a
was-
degree. But they're amazing movies.
Yeah.
So here we go. The Furiosa. What do you guess audience and critics score? And I'll tell you this: they're the same.
75-75.
87.
90.
90.
90.
Honestly,
Audience-
well earned.
Yeah,
It's-
audience and critics both rate it 90%.
Wow.
Yeah.
It is that good. It's amazing. The Fury Road is very fast paced. It's very, okay, you're on the road, action sequence, action sequence, action sequence. This one it's chronological for Furiosa herself. So there's actually chapters in the movie. I think it has like 6 or 8 or something like that.
Gotcha.
And there's quite a few time jumps as well. And so it doesn't have the same speed and punch that Fury Road does.
Gotcha.
But when it does get to those points, the action sequences are just as engaging and
Impressive.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just had a Memorial Day weekend was not good for theaters.
Mm-hmm.
We had actually one of the slowest Memorial Days, this century.
Yes.
Came through here on this, and that was Garfield and Furiosa. We opened up on those, and both good movies. We're just kind of in a little bit of apathy, I think, from the viewing audience right now. We always usually, kind of what kicks it off is May, that first weekend of May.
Yeah.
The studios always put out a big film, and that kind of gets that, it's a jump start to the summer and then getting everything going, and this year was Fall Guy. Another one, a good movie.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened there, it just did not
Do the numbers.
did not hit those numbers that they were expecting.
I will say that before you brought it up to me, when I showed up, I had no clue. I hadn't even heard of Fall Guy. I think that might be part of it. But again, studios, they gotta save money on these movies. They don't push as much into marketing a lot of the time.
Yeah, and Fury Road, oh my gosh, critics, Mad Max Fury Road, 97%.
Wow.
So many critics really loved
That was
that one.
It's a great movie.
yes.
This movie is fantastic too. It does all the sets are beautiful and beautiful in a wasteland sort of way.
Yeah.
George Miller's a little bit of
He's nuts.
he's a little bit of a lunatic, yeah.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff he pulls is like, wow.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Well, I think that there was a little bit less of this movie from the studios because there was a lot of pushback from some of the ways that Fury Road was run on set. So it seems like there was a lot more emphasis on safety for this one.
And this one, Anya Taylor-Joy, Furiosa.
Amazing.
Chris Hemsworth is in the movie Dementus. He has to be a bad guy. A good guy can't be named Dementus. Can he?
An amazing.
If you watch the movie, kind of listen to some of the names in there. Some of them are really,
Some of them are really good.
they're pretty funny.
Praetorian Jack. The History Man. Wow. The People Eater. John Howard. The People Eater. He's not a good guy. The Organic Mechanic. Is that Angus Sampson?
That goes back to some of the Mad Max and Road Warrior films.
Yeah.
I love those films.
These crazy names and
Josh Hellman, Scrotus.
Toe biter and
And
stuff
then
like that.
Rictus Erectus, Nathan Jones, Toe Jam, David Field is Toe Jam,
it's
Vulture, Smeg, the Octoboss. Oh yeah, You know, great.
Very, very fun movie. All the characters' designs are so unique. You can get lost in looking at all the background characters and all the background vehicles and realizing
They
this
did a lot of
too,
that.
it's
You know, they
dialogue.
built a lot of those vehicles. You know, it was
Yeah.
like CGI.
Yeah.
They took a car, then they stacked another car on top of it.
Yeah.
And made it
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
And then one of my favorite ones is Chris Hemsworth a lot in the movie drives around in a chariot that's pulled by 3 motorcycles.
Yeah, yeah.
That,
Oh my
that
gosh.
he like literally uses
Yeah,
the
it's-
reins
reins
to turn it and everything. Yeah.
It's pretty-
motorcycles.
It's pretty awesome.
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And there's also a bunch of cool monster trucks in it too. It's just
Yeah.
it's awesome. There's one scene that takes place in this citadel they have called Bullet Town that is just so intense from the beginning to the end, and it's just
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Yeah. So again, if you want to check out all of the movies that are showing or coming soon to Sawmill Theatres, you can go to their website, sawmilltheaters.com. Also, check them out on Facebook as well for different updates and things that are happening.
You know, we got those discount Tuesdays, and the
Yeah.
other one too, we just started up a rewards program.
Uh-huh.
For every dollar you spend in concession, you get a point, and then you can redeem those points for popcorn, drinks, or, yeah, so.
There you go.
Yeah, we've got a bunch of awards.
Yeah, so there's that going on, and also open 7 days a week now.
Yes.
So 7 days a week throughout the summer, you can check out a movie at Sawmill Theatres.
Kind of too, we're getting a film festival going.
Yes, that's
Here-
right.
Yes,
Yeah.
here in August, Clint Eastwood Film Festival, the
Mhm.
the inaugural Hazen Film Festival.
First
Kind
one.
of time, that's the week before rodeo,
Yeah,
so we're gonna kind of try to tie those in a little bit, you know, and
Yeah.
get something going there, so.
and that'll be exciting, a film festival.
Yes, yeah, so we'll get that going, and we'll get some flyers over here too, so we get a little
Yeah,
more detail on that.
no, there we go. So, yeah, be looking out for that as well. Well, cool. Well, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Excellent.
And everyone listening, watching, hope you have a great weekend. Time to get back to the music with some cross-Canadian ragweed, Bon Jovi, Robert Cray Band, and more. But first, let's get an update from the National Weather Service.
Excellent.
Excellent.
Here we go. See you guys.